Hey, the fellow travelers, Mark here with Walter's World, and I am in the library with all of my clothes, while Jocelyn is on a train to Italy with absolutely no clothes. So I just want to say, hey, and welcome to everybody. It's been a while since we've had a live here for a while, so just glad to be on here with everybody. Mark, good to see you on here. Ramblin' Rum, nice to see you. Chris, Reggie your man, Catherine Legg, good to see you. Who else? Not Chris Bates, nice to see you as well, my friend. Stuart, always a pleasure. Baggy T, nice to see you all. Living the moment with Vero. I'm glad we could help inspire you with your YouTube channel. But yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of these lives, and I figured since Liam's asleep and he was probably up till God knows when playing video games last night and watching YouTube, because I'm a horrible, horrible parent. I'm up early because I had to call Delta for Jocelyn this morning at like 6 due to her unfortunate incident. She'll admit it was her fault. She missed her connection, but it was funny because they were running. Her and her friend are going to France and Italy for a trip, a girls' trip to have some nice times, enjoy the sales that are there. So they went and they missed their connecting flight. And it was funny. Jocelyn was saying that when they were running to get to their connection, she got a call. She's on the phone. They're like, "Oh, are you gonna get that plane to Paris?" So she's like, "Yeah, that's me running. You see me waving?" And Lady goes, "Well, too bad. We already took your plane, your luggage off the plane." She hung up on him. I'm like, wow, like that's like hardcore. But I was like, respect, respect. You held up the plane. So their bags didn't get out. So they eventually got on another flight to Paris. So they got there maybe like 2 hours after, 3 hours after they were supposed to. Um, but they got there. Their luggage didn't, and they've been having Keystone Cop adventures since they've been there. Yesterday, even Jocelyn even actually went all the way out to Terminal 2F at Charles de Gaulle to talk to the baggage people there. And while she was there, they're like, "Oh, we have your bag. We have your bag. It's scheduled to be delivered to your hotel between 9:20 and 9:50 tonight." So Jocelyn, and this is almost 9 o'clock, hops back in a cab, takes a cab back in there. If you look on her Instagram, it's Jocelyn Walters World, and she's on there talking about, oh, they're gonna be there, and there's videos of her and her friend like at the window waiting and waiting and waiting, and it never came. So then she was calling them this morning to get things set up, and then the train went through the Alps, so she lost connection. So then I tried to call, and I kept getting the automated stuff, and we eventually got through. So they have the address for the hotel they're going to stay at in Italy for the next 2 nights, and theoretically, they're going to fly that to Italy and then get it to them. That's why I have the kind of the post up here. If you look over at the chat, depending where you're on in the chat, if maybe it's down below, there's a poll on there. Do you think Jocelyn will get her luggage today? And I'm like, I won't lie to you. I voted no. I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe tomorrow. Fingers crossed. But yeah, so luckily it's not a cold winter this year in Europe, so she's not freezing her behind off. But yeah, that's the background on that one. So Jocelyn's on. She left Wednesday. It's Sunday afternoon there. So she picked up some knickers and a coat when she was in Paris, and her friend had to get some pajamas and stuff. So luckily they did both pack extra underwear in the carry-on like we always do. So there's that. I know some people are like, wait, aren't you team carry-on? We are team carry-on, but Jocelyn's friend packed a little bit more. So she hasn't traveled for like this before, or at least for a while. So they went there. They're going to have a good time. So it happens. I was just kind of chuckling about that. So yes, that is what the Walters World family is up to. I'm enjoying a cup of Yorkshire tea. If you can get this is some good tea. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was in York. I was in Northern England the first 2 weeks of the month, and was enjoying that Yorkshire tea. So Yorkshire tea, I keep writing them. Their social media team keeps writing me back, so that's kind of cool. So who knows? Maybe we can get sponsored by them one day. But yes, I'm having a nice cuppa right now. Anyway, so I want to answer your question today, but also I think while we're going through, I want to talk about some, scam things because, it's been a while since we've all been traveling and the scammers are back. I was in London and I was seeing them back in action from pickpockets to, the fake, charity people. I was like, oh, travel's really back when all the tourist traps and scams are back. So I want to talk about that sometime today. So every 10 minutes or so, I'm going to go give kind of like another little thing to talk about with that. But Let's see who all's all on here before I get into those things. Oh, Sue, nice to see you. Mary Ellen, Eric Svart, good to see you coming to the U.S., my friend. Ivy Dover, good to see you. Jerry Z, excuse me. Jim and Harriet, nice to see you as well. Midnight Snow, Corbin. Ooh, South Dakota. Underrated, South Dakota. I got to say, though, I do enjoy, as a tourist, going to the west side of South Dakota more than the east side. Sorry, buddy. Ever Marquez, glad you liked the videos. Thank you very much. Hey, John. Marcelo, lots of trips. We are back to pre-pandemic traveling with Walter's World. Last year was kind of like getting back into it. This year, it was kind of funny because I like to get my tickets before the end of the year for the first half of the year. So it was like, well, we could get this, or we could get that, like, or we could go there, and it just became like a waterfall of yes, we'll go here. So we've got all kinds of stuff. We've got Israel, Jordan, working on Egypt to get these ones we have the tickets for. We've got Greece, Spain, Portugal, France, Dominican Republic, San Francisco, back to Savannah. Jocelyn's in France and Italy. I was already in England. Brazil, maybe Argentina. What else is there? There's more stuff, and that's like the first half of the. I mean, it's just like we're just going to be go to get new stuff for everyone, and to kind of help out, like get more information out there. For those of you who don't know, we have actually a few other channels that we put other stuff on, and so like one of the things we have is our food channel. And hold on, let me show myself here. So we have our Walter's World Eats channel, as you can see over here. There you go. And on there, we talk about all kinds of food stuff. So you'll see on here, like the Eats of San Antonio just came out today, Cheap Eats of New York, Gutbusters Chicago, What to Eat in Montreal. And what we're trying to do, there it is. What we're trying to do with this one is, foods across Europe, what you should eat, when you go different places. Because we did have a lot of our food videos on our travel channel, but it started to kind of get hidden with the travel stuff. So we made a food channel for that. So if you go to Walter's World Eats, you can subscribe on there. And then since we've been traveling around a lot, we're doing a lot of the, I know the vertical videos, the short videos, the reels, the TikToks are kind of popular. We actually have, let's see, we have another channel that I've told you guys about before, our shorts channel, which basically it's more like a highlights channel. So like we have the short form videos, and also starting February 1st, we're going to be putting up like highlights from other videos. So you'll see some old favorites like the "Don't Touch the Americans" on the don'ts of the U.S. So we're going to be kind of redoing some of those things. So if you want to subscribe to that channel, I'll give you an idea what it looks like. Let me show you here real quick. Yeah, there we go. The shorts channel here. So it has all the little vertical videos, and that's also where we put like hotel reviews, train reviews. Like I was on the train to Montreal to Toronto, and so like look there's that one there. So little fun things we see. Like Alberobello, Italy. Like it's a small little town, not big enough for a long Walter's World video. So I'm actually gonna do, if it's like a small little thing, we're gonna put that on this channel. Also, Jocelyn's historical architectural history videos will be on here as well. So you can see Jocelyn all her glory. Even though she has no luggage, she has been filming those. So just giving you a heads up for some of the other things out there. Yeah. So that's some of the things we've been working on. That's why you haven't seen me lately, because we've been putting together so much stuff for the food channel and the shorts channel and then our main channel, because I know the second half of the year, people don't really think about travel, but now the new year is here, we're all thinking about travel again. So that's why I thought, hey, you know what? It's time for us, even though I got a Christmas bug, it's time to think about the new year and summer travel. But yeah, let's see. So many more good mornings. Hey, Corbin, good to see you. Yeah, yes, Sue, exactly. At least Jocelyn gets to shop. That's right. That's the key thing right there, Sue. She gets to shop. So Randolph brings up a question. Says, Mark, glad I can join it. I'm glad you're here, my friend. Trying to go to Rome. Is it worth to pay extra, stay in the city, or should stay outside of Rome? Stay in the city, because if you're staying in the city, there's so many sites that are just there you can actually walk to. But if you're out of the city, you're really out of the city. I mean, that's one of those places that's worth paying to be in the city. So I would definitely look to do that. Sylvain, is it safe to travel to Central America? I feel COVID-19. What can I do to mitigate the risk? Honestly, going to Central America, going to Europe, going to the US, going to the grocery store, the threat level is basically the same. You can wear a mask if you want. No one's going to be mad at you wearing masks. It's okay. But yeah, no, we're going to be back in Central and South America this year, and yeah, so that's what I can say about that. Don't let it stop you from traveling. So Amanda asks, have you ever used an AirTag or similar in your luggage? Wonder how useful they are. Amanda, so I have used those, and they are helpful. I did not have it in Jocelyn's luggage because I had them in the cars. And so just one of those things, just kind of like, because I literally got home Sunday night. She left Wednesday morning, so it's like, oh, baby, I missed you. I didn't think about putting a thing in there. But I have, because I want to do a test, because I have Tile, I have an AirTag, and I have the Samsung tag. I don't see which ones do best. So those things can help. Some airlines say that you're not supposed to use those, and they get mad at you for doing that. But you know what? They're going to lose your luggage anyway, so you might as well know where it is. So I plan on throwing one in. It's just you gotta worry about the battery stuff. So there is that. Yes, Reggie and her man, Yorkshire tea. That's right. Let's see. Ivy Dover, does O'Hare really have consistent delays? I fly from there soon and have a 90-minute layover in London, hoping I don't miss my connection to Iceland. Well, if you're flying to London, that's probably going to be starting there. So you won't have probably a problem if you're flying international. The international flight flying out usually is okay. Thing is, if you only got 90 minutes, you could have just flown directly from O'Hare to, I know that doesn't help now, to Iceland. But if you're going to be connecting, oh, I see. You're flying to London via Iceland. You should be okay because when they fly out that way, and then Reykjavik is, it's not Reykjavik, but it's Reykjavik. That airport, you'll be fine. It's easy to get around, so you should be okay. Marielle's going to New Orleans. Very nice. Oh, WD, you got me. I'm currently in Brazil and heading to Buenos Aires, then Antarctica. Would you ever go? Yes, I would. Actually been waiting for Antarctica till Liam is a bit older. He's only 11 now, so you got to be older to go, or at least older that I would feel comfortable taking him. So we got a few more years till that, because that's one, I really want to go with the whole family. So, Chris, I got an 8-hour flight from Atlanta to Amsterdam. Any advice for tall flyers on long flights? Some people say get the bulkhead because there's a little more space, but I don't think the bulkhead's better because it's a solid wall and you can't put your legs out. Obviously you can get like a first class or something like that. That's more helpful. But what I would recommend is get an aisle seat, because then at least you can kind of get your legs out there in the aisle. But do be careful, because if they're pushing those carts, especially it's Atlanta to Amsterdam, if that's KLM, they'll run your legs over. Okay, with no shame, they'll be like, "What are you doing, dum-dum?" But yeah, that I usually would go that route that way. I know my buddy Mark Finley does a lot of research, because sometimes you can look up the kind of plane you have. And there'll be like things saying where there's more leg room, so you can look at those. There's that. Let's see. Evan Marquez, going to Israel in May. How expensive would you say compared to other countries? I mean, it's like you're going to the U.S. If that gives you an idea. It's not cheap, but it's not like you can't afford it. It's not like going to like Moscow in the 90s where it was like, or the early 2000s, it was insane expensive. So I think it'd be okay. Geek Sky, hey Mark, planning San Francisco. Am I crazy for considering not getting a rental car? I'm going there myself, and I'm not for a week, and I'm not getting a rental car either, Geek Sky. So don't feel too bad about that. Hey Klaus, good to see you. Deborah, always a pleasure. Zach D, good to see you. Rambling Room, plan a trip to Jordan. Have you been? Videos I should watch for advice. I will be. We are going to Jordan later this year, so I will have videos probably at the end of summer for it. So right now, since that's a summer trip, I've only done some of the planning, because we were going to be going. I don't know, 2019 we were supposed to go, and that got canceled literally last minute. So I've got scripts somewhere, but I have to go look at them and see what's there. I don't have them here with me. Let's see. Oh, Deborah, snowing in Wisconsin. We have some snow here in Illinois right now. It was really funny because I was looking out the window and it looks like the snow. There's like absolutely no wind, and the snow is coming down, and it really looks like it's like a screensaver. It was pretty funny. So let's see. Oh, had a big jump there. Sorry. Greg, hey, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Thanks, guys, for your help on my Paris trip this year. All inclusive, any travel tips? So, Greg, I actually do have a don'ts, a shocks, and a what to know before you go to all inclusives. And we're going to the Dominican Republic to stay at an all inclusive the end of next month. And I'm going to be filming a bunch more to help people out. But some of the big things for the all inclusives, don't think you have to do an all inclusive every time. Some places, like you're going to Dominican Republic, you should probably do an all inclusive. But like Jamaica or Turks and Caicos, you don't have to do that. You can get your own kind of stuff when you're there. But if you do the all-inclusives, make sure you do your research because they'll be all-inclusive there just for adults or for families or people that want to party or people that want to see the culture. So they are very tailored to what people are looking to do. Okay, so think about that. Also, if they ever have a wristband, never ever lose that wristband because they'll charge you like $75-100 for that. Even if you're like, but I have the lowest thing, doesn't matter. So be aware from that. Okay, I just want to give you a heads up on that one. And then one thing I'll recommend you do, if you tip the waiters at the bar at all inclusives, it'll be amazing how you'll go from the well vodka to the nice vodka. Because most people don't tip at the all-inclusive. So when they get treated nicer and the people talk to them, they tend to, one, give them inside tips about the area and give you a little bit nicer alcohol. Also, don't expect a lot of local food at the all-inclusives. Ask the workers, hey, what's the local food that you guys would eat? And then they'll tell you what's the like more realistic kind of thing. So hope that helps, Greg. Have a good trip. Ernesto, thank you very much for the super chat. Well, friend, is Seattle, Portland worth the trip? Yes, it is. I actually like Seattle quite a bit. My mom likes Portland better. She always likes going there, so I don't have a problem getting anybody to go with me when I go. I will say, though, Seattle is very pricey because all that the internet money and the tech money that has been there for so long has driven up the prices for accommodation, for food, for things you want to go see and do. Be used to that, and they'll automatically put on like the service charge, 15-20% on your bill as well. I can't remember how much it is, but do be ready for that. So I hope that kind of helps a little bit, my friend. Johnny headed to Puerto Rico this week. Any advice on driving there? Heard it could get crazy. It's like, well, it's only kind of crazy when you're around San Juan. Really, it's not that bad. We drove all over the island, and it was not bad. I would just say be extra careful when you're going. Don't drive like an old San Juan. What I would probably do is just go visit Old San Juan and then take an Uber back out to or a driver or a taxi back out to the airport and get your car rental and then leave from there. So you don't have to drive around the center. Also, if you do get a ticket, FYI, you will need to go to like the town hall and pay it right away because we had to do that. So just be aware of that one. I'm just saying. Cops are very nice, but they definitely said you're speeding. So, and don't always expect to see a speed limit. So FYI. Rome was still very, yeah. Rome can be busy. You're right. So Stuart was talking about the all-inclusives. Can be a 2-tier all-inclusive standard with local drinks free, not branded, and one is inclusive plus with branded drinks. Yeah, that's the thing is like all of them have like different setups. So that's why it's kind of funny. Like we stayed at one in Turks and Caicos. And they had it like drinks were included, drinks are not included, food is included, food is not included, only breakfast included. And it all was like the wristband color that week that determined it. So that was funny because that was the time where I thought everything was Patriots everywhere because we were there like when Tom Brady was still playing for them. It was pretty funny. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, Chris had a good time. You asked about Seattle, Portland. He went for October, had a great time. It is nice. Michael, traveling the world. Do you have a 3-day San Antonio itinerary and plan to go in March? So I just put out an Eats San Antonio video today on the Walter's World Eats channel. So you can go watch that, get an idea for the food. Then you went there is the puffy tacos. They're not everywhere, but if you can get them, they're really good. Um, March, yeah, March should be fine with the weather. So you have the San Antonio Missions, which are UNESCO World Heritage Site. There's these Spanish missions along the San Antonio River. You can go visit. They're gorgeous. Obviously, the Alamo. You got the River Walk. What I would do is one of your days, rent a car and head up to should be Fredericksburg and go check out Fredericksburg and the Texas wine country. That's what I kind of recommend for your days there. Alex wants to know, have you been to New Zealand? I have not. That was another one of those ones that got zonkoed with COVID. So it's kind of like I always tell the story. It's like we have a stack of card house of all the places we were going to go. And now COVID came, all the cards fell down. So now we're grabbing the cards that come up and we can find a deal where we can go places. And New Zealand is not a cheap place to get to. And that's a long way to go. So we have not gotten there. And I don't think we're going to go this Christmas, but maybe the next Christmas. That one might be heading there for that. I know Delta just started a flight there, and they were showing for 888,000 miles you can fly with them there. So I was like, maybe not. So Sue asks, are there European cities where you recommend food tours? Okay, so here's the thing. Food tours can be fun, but you got to realize that some of the food tours you go to, they're more like we're taking you to the TikTok spots. So you can get your TikTok or your Instagram shot with this one food or with this one, like Salt Bay or whatever. That's one thing I want you to look out for. Make sure it's one that's really, it depends. If that's what you want, then go ahead and do it. But some of them I see, it's kind of like they want you to think this is local food, but it's not really local food. It's kind of like when you go to Lisbon, they're like, oh, I see so many bloggers, right? This get a traditional rickshaw or tuk-tuk up into the hills. I'm like, that's never been traditional Portuguese. Lisbon is a rickshaw or a tuk-tuk to go up the hills. That is something that came with a tourist, And so make sure you find one that actually has real authentic food. So you're getting to learn that. That's one thing I do recommend to look out for. Oh, hey, we got Beth. Hey, Beth. Good to see you. Thank you very much for the super chat. Take my first solo trip to Budapest and Vienna the last week of February. Any suggestions or advice? Okay, that can still be pretty chilly. So definitely have some boots that have some good traction that you can walk around in, because both those cities, tons of stuff to see and tons of walking stuff to see. So you want to do that. In Budapest, make sure you buy your subway tickets if you're going around, because they have the checkers and they're dressed like normal people and they will nail you. Okay, so be aware of that. Vienna, you don't even realize you need to get a ticket because you just walk on and off the public transportation. They also have the hidden people, so do be aware of that. Plenty of museums to check out. If you're going to do the Schönbrunn Castle, like the palace, don't do the long one, because the long one is just too much extra stuff that takes up too much time. So I would just do like the one, because there's 3 different ones. I do the short one or the medium one if you want that. But yeah, you'll have a fun time. And thank you very much for the super chat, Beth. Also, it's only like a 2.5 hour train ride between the two, so it's really easy. And if you have time, I would actually do a day trip into Bratislava if you're staying in Vienna, and you can eat super cheap there, and it's beautiful. So you could use that as like a little extra thing. So then there's 3 countries in your trip. So thank you. Jim and Harriet, thank you very much for the super chat and being members. Thank you. Who do you use for travel and health insurance? Trying to order the Yorkshire tea. Amazon has many choices. Do you get it? You have to get it from the UK. So there's a lot of places where actually you can buy this now, because I post about my Yorkshire tea experience a few times, and a bunch of people sent me links to like Buy Brit or British Buy or the British Shop or all these things where I can actually get it, and they'll I can order it from to home. So that's kind of cool. So I will be doing that. In terms of travel and health insurance, so what I do, my work actually has, I can get insurance. Like I pay extra every month on my normal insurance thing from work that covers travel. But also whenever I do international, I don't, because in the US, I have my own coverage. I'm fine. But when I go outside the US, whenever they offer do you want to buy the insurance? The medical and the trip insurance, I usually buy that. I pay the $50, whatever it is, just for the peace of mind. Have never had to use it, even though we've had to go to the doctor a number of times, but didn't have to use it for that because some of it was like so cheap, it was no big deal. Like when Liam got his hand smashed. That insurance, actually, that I had a Chinese insurance company that paid me back, so it's no big deal. But those are things I do recommend you getting. And if any of you are on Medicaid, that will not cover you abroad. You have to buy insurance when you go travel abroad because you won't be covered. All right. So I hope that helps you. Hope that helps you out. Oh, I had another big jump. Somebody was asking if I do Africa and Asia trips. Yes, we do. We have lots of videos on Rwanda and Tanzania, Morocco. We should hopefully we'll be in Egypt this summer. We've got China and Japan videos, and we've got a Southeast Asia trip coming up the next probably year. So we'll have more of those coming up. So don't you worry. Oh, Nazia, Romero, thank you very much for the super chat. Any tips on booking cheap airline tickets? What site do you use to book hotels and cars? Okay, so this is one thing I've talked to a lot of people about, and I always recommend booking direct with the company you want to use, because if there's any issues, then the company has your money and they're like, oh, we can deal with you because we have your money, and so we can give you your money back. But if you go through a third party like Expedia or Booking or whatever, then it has to go through them, and you might not get your money back if there's any issues. And if there's people that are getting bumped off flights, those third party people are lower on the totem pole. So be careful with that. Now, if you're looking to booking cheap airline tickets, I do use like kayak.com or skyscanner.com to find the really cheap, or Google Flights. You can find the really cheap flights, and then I go on the airline for that, and I go buy it direct from them. Okay, so I've done that a lot of times just so I can find the good deals with them, and then I go book direct for them. Okay, so I hope that helps. And thank you very much, Nazia, for the super chat. Oh, another not. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate that. And Mayak, Mayak, I assume. Traveling to Paris in September with a weekend in Milan. Would you suggest a train or flying to get to Milan? Okay, so Jocelyn is actually on the Paris to Milan train right now as we speak. She said it's a beautiful ride. The train is fine, but it is, I think, 6 hours. I think it's 6 hours. You can take one at like 9 in the morning, or you can take one at like 2 in the afternoon that are direct. There's other ones you can connect, but you want the direct one, you have that. It just depends. Like, do you want to go to the airport and deal with all that? If you don't want to deal with the airport, you just want to walk right in and do that, then you can do the train. I've done the flight for that. It was fine, but I didn't have a ton of luggage either. I was like just my little backpack, and so it was a carry-on thing. If you're checking luggage, I might just take the train just to save the hassle. And then you get that beautiful view when you're going, because you'll go through part of the Alps as well. So towards the end, like when you're by Switzerland and stuff. So that might be a nice thing. So I hope that helps, Anne. And thank you very much for the super chat. Okay, so my stuff keeps jumping around. So I have this one on this computer. I have another computer over here that showed me like 10 other things. So I've got a new member. Welcome to the Helpful Helpful Traveler. Now it's disappearing on me. I love how these things work. No, I don't want to hide the chat. So I can keep up with the comments. I'm having a tough time trying to keep up with the comments. Let's see. What should you do to help with jet lag after an overnight flight from Chicago to London? So usually you're going to get up in the morning. Just stay awake. Have some Coke. Dark chocolate it will help you stay awake without getting too much caffeine if that's something that you can't do. So that's what I do. Stay up until at least 7 o'clock. Okay, just fight it and then zonk out and you'll be fine the next day. Kay Leo from Wales, beautiful country. I highly recommend people go there. Not enough people visit and too many people make jokes about it, but Wales is beautiful. Hi from Wales. My mother-in-law may need a wheelchair during our upcoming trip to Fort Worth. Any ideas where we could rent one? Actually, it sounds silly, but yes, you can Google it in terms of wheelchair rental, but you might want to talk to your airline that you're flying with. I don't know where you're coming in from. It says pounds, so I'm going to guess you're coming in from the UK. If you're flying British Airways or American, you could contact them, because sometimes if they don't do it themselves, they'll know who they recommend you use, and therefore it'll be easier for we can have it set up so then you have the wheelchair at the airport that you get to use, or you get it at the airport. So that would be one thing, Kate. I would reach out direct to your airline. And their social media, I would do like a Twitter or Facebook thing. Or you can call them, but it takes longer. But sometimes they'll just tweet, oh, hey, here's a link. Go check it out here. And that could be really helpful. So I hope that helps. Thank you, Kate. Sue, back again. Thank you, Sue, 777. Oh, somebody's got the lucky sevens going. Thanks for all the help with Rome. Trip was amazing. United was great. Lufthansa was a sauna. Gelato was king. My son, where next? Florence. That's awesome. Yeah, so Sue went to Italy with her son and had a good old time. I got to see a bunch of her pictures. on our superheroes thing, and well, we in other places, and it looked like he had a good time. Yeah, I've noticed some planes are definitely warmer than others, and some are really cold. I mean, I still remember one time it was like the temperature was so different from the air outside that when we landed, it started steaming up in the cabin. I'm like, we're all gonna die. Like, no, that's because we keep it like a cool, like, I don't know, 16 Celsius, and it's 50 Celsius outside. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, Brian, thank you very much for becoming a new member. I appreciate that, my friend. That is really awesome. You, thank you. Let's see. Okay, Jocelyn, no luggage in Milan. This will be a pricey. Yeah, I know. Well, she was just in Paris, so she got. I know she got it. She told me she only got toiletries, 3 pairs of underwear, and a coat. I'm gonna guess it was a little more pricey for a friend who had like pajamas, got all kinds of stuff. So, but Jocelyn was very happy. She had her makeup with her, and she got her hair did when she was there. So she still made the best of it. And that's the thing is, if you lose your bags, things happen. Don't let it ruin your trip, because that's one thing I really get sad about is if you do let it ruin your trip, you're like, look, things get lost. I was kind of chuckling about them like that sucks, but just keep enjoying your time. And they were until Jocelyn had to spend a whole day going back and forth, and they said that it was coming, then it never came, and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. Jerry Z, thank you very much for the super chat. Hi, Mark. We'll be in San Sebastian, Spain this spring. I'd like to rent a car to visit Lourdes, France for a day trip. Any recommendations? Okay, so I always use Europa Car when we're in Europe, just because it's writing me, because it is a world international brand, and so that works out just fine. Let me put this on silent here. But that's how you should go to up there in Spain. In Spain, there tends to be a lot more local agencies, which will be more affordable than Europcar. I'm not going to lie about that. Dependability of the car, also, I can't guarantee that. So I usually go with Europcar. Then I know at the airport, San Sebastian, they do have Europcar. At least they did when I was looking there before COVID. So there is that. So Zach D, hi Mark, do you need kids' car seats for Ubers in Europe? Depends where you are. Depends how old your kid is. Some places they look the other way. In Germany, taxi will say, "No, we're not taking you. We don't. You no kids." But I've seen a lot of places in Europe the Uber driver will have like a mini car seat in the back. But just depends, Zach, if you're talking about a tiny baby or you're talking about like a 1 or 2 year old, because your kid's about in that like kind of booster seat phase. You could look at getting a not Go-Go Babies. What is it? We have a Bubble Bum, which you blow up, and it's actually certified by the not FCC, the transportation people, so you can use that. So that could be something to look into. Oh, Mary, thank you very much. I don't know if I answered this. Did you have a question? I appreciate your super chat. Thank you. I don't know if I missed it. Sorry. Post it again if you have a question, Mary. Let's see. All right, so Kangs is going to Germany next year for a history trip. Cool. Any recommendation for museums or sites? Okay, so there's so many museums and sites, which you have to realize Germany, there's a lot of folk museums around. You can learn about the culture that way. But if you're in Berlin, you want to go to Museum Island. It's where the cathedral is, the Pergamon Museum, where they have the Pergamon gates, the gates of Babylon. I mean, it's just amazing to go see that. If you're down in Munich, the Deutsches Museum, the German museum there is one of the best, probably the best science museum in Europe. Then there's all kinds of other historical places you can go visit. So there's too many to list. There's so many to list. Let's see. Geek side, doesn't Jocelyn normally start with half a suitcase and plan some shopping? Yes, she actually brought another bag to carry her stuff back with. But she was going, and so we were told we need to have glamour shots done. So she took stuff to have a little photo shoot in Paris so that we can have new thumbnails and new stuff there. And so she took her stuff. She had plenty, she had her stuff all in a carry-on bag, but her friend that she was going with just had a bigger bag that wouldn't go carry-on. So Jocelyn just checked it, to just check with her, and then it didn't quite work out. But yes, she definitely had room in her bag and then another bag in that bag to buy more stuff. So yes, Geek Sky, don't worry about her. Mike Justice, thank you very much for the super chat. Oh, plenty of pub trip to Ireland in June. Can I come? Because that sounds like an amazing time. Any recommendations to go from pub to pub and return to the hotel? Don't want to drink and drive. Okay, so if you stay at any of the, like, just stay downtown. Whether you're in Dublin or you're going to Glasgow, Kilkenny, wherever, just stay downtown and you can pub crawl that way. Also, Ubers all over the place, Lyft, taxis. You can do that. If what I think I'd recommend, like if you're by Cork, I would go stay in a town like Kinsale, and there's pubs there for the live music. You can hear the pubs, and you have like the waterfront right there. So I'd recommend some things like that. So yeah, that would be my recommendation, my friend. But yeah, you'll have a good time. Yeah, never drink drive there. I mean, you never anyway, but like there, it's even scary when you're on the other side. So yeah. Ooh, Nazia's going to a awesome South U.S. trip. Savannah, Charleston, Asheville for spring break. Your videos are so helpful. Thank you. You're very welcome. We actually just put out the 10 Shocks of North Carolina yesterday. We put out a bunch of Savannah stuff. And then I think I have the Dunce of Charleston coming out in 2 weeks. So hopefully that'll come out before you get there. We have the Eats of Charleston. It came out last week on Walter's World Eats. So that should help you out if you need some other stuff there. But you'll have a fun time. Those are all beautiful places. Do be aware of the ghost tours. They can be a little bit tchotchke sometimes, a little bit, but yeah, they can be fun though. So you have a good time. My stuff keeps jumping on me, people. I'm sorry. Adam, thank you very much for the super chat. Planning a trip to London and Edinburgh. Very nice. Regarding UK pubs, should you seat yourself or wait for someone to seat you? Any other pub tips? So actually, I was in London with my cousin who's there studying abroad, and he didn't know this. If you go to the pubs in the UK, you go find your own seat. And when you're at your seat, look on your table or like the thing that's like holding your menu and look, and there'll be a number on there. And so what you'll do is you'll have your menu, you'll figure out what you want to eat, and then you go up to the bar and you say, hey, this is for table 7. I want to get a steak and ale pie, a fish and chips, and 2 London Prides, the drink, a beer, and then they'll give you the beers right there, and then you go sit down, like you'll pay at the bar, and then you'll go sit down, and then they'll bring the food when it's ready. But look for that number on the table. That is the biggest thing. And no one seats you at a pub anywhere. You go seat yourself. Okay. So yeah. So thanks, Adam. That was actually a really good question, because that's where I've seen a number of people having some issues over the years. So. Taylor, hey Mark, thank you for all you do. Planning Iceland birthday trip from Daytona Beach in November. It'll be a different weather pattern, that's for sure. But no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine in November. It'll be a little dark because you're so far north, but you'll have a good time. Blue Lagoon will still be good. I don't know how long you're going to go for, but you'll definitely have a fun time when you're there. Oh, Ben's talking about for the one that was looking for the pubs, what to do with the pub crawls. Yeah, Dublin streetcar is super easy, €520 for a day. Yeah, public transportation can always hook you up very, very well. So, okay, Ross Spence, thank you very much for the super chat. In your honest opinion, Glasgow or Edinburgh? For a tourist, I have to go with Edinburgh, just because Edinburgh with the Royal Mile, the castle, the whole like Harry Potter vibey stuff. Edinburgh is the winner as a tourist. Now, if you were going to be a study abroad student, probably the nightlife and the job opportunities and the college life is probably more fun in Glasgow. But I got to be honest, you know me, I'd have to go that one. Sean, thank you very much for the super chat. Best town in Algarve, Portugal. So Faro is the one that's the most popular because that's where the train stops, which I'm not the biggest fan of. But you can go to the Bone Chapel there. We usually go. You got Sagres is fun to go to, but hold on. The town I go to, Lagos. I would go to Lagos because that's a tourist destination. But you got a nice beach there, and then you can take the boat. There's like little tiny boats, not tiny, the whole like 8 people, and they'll go take you out to the grottos. You can go around there along the coast. That's really cool. So Lagos would be my winner for that one, Sean. So I hope that helps you out. Oh, hey, John. Good to see you, buddy. Nice to see everyone on here, hearing all about your upcoming travel plans. I have to jump off the chat in a few minutes. We chartered a boat today for Vallarta. Oh, nice, my friend. You all have a good time. Yes, and as Russ says, either one you go to, you have fun in Glasgow or Edinburgh, so it'll be good. So Taylor, 11 days, 10 nights, staying at the retreat with the Blue Lagoon, 5 people, airfare and lodging. Yeah, for 5 people for 10 nights. Yeah. Yeah. If it's not, yeah, no, that's fine. That's totally fine because it's not, it is, Iceland is not a cheap stay, people. I cannot tell you enough how Iceland is not a cheap stay. So, can you tell my brigadier's around here? We got him a new toy that he just loves. And I thought I didn't, when I bought it, I was squeezing all the parts to see if it had a honker, and I didn't get it to honk, but somehow he got it to honk. He's got a skill. He's got a skill. Let's see. So Robin asks, "Hi, what would you pack if you only had a backpack small enough to take it up to airplanes?" So actually, this is how I always travel. The only reason I take more now is because I have to have my camera gear. So I didn't have my camera gear. I don't have my backpack. No, it's in my office. So I just have like a little Osprey like book backpack. Like, oh, I'm going to school today. That's all I take, and I roll my stuff up, and I'll have like well, it depends. Like we usually like the rule of fives: 5 tops, 5 bottoms, 5 undies, 5 socks, which oddly enough does kind of fit in that bag, that day pack I have. But if I was small, and if I had to go small, if it was like a winter one, I would do probably 2 jeans or a jean, wear a pair of jeans, hat, roll a pair of jeans, roll a pair of like slacks, so I have a nicer pair, and then I'd roll like a quarter zip undershirts, like layer it. That's what I would do. So Prashant saying, Jean, what's your booking process like? Do you own any travel credit cards? Yes. When it comes to travel credit cards, and I probably need to do a video on these because some of them are helpful. And as a lot of airlines have changed their statuses and their credit card bonuses, a lot of things you see online probably are not as accurate as they used to be. Brig, you're fine. I always tell you this: if you're going to get a travel credit card, get one that works best for you. If you do not fly a lot, then don't get the airline travel cards because you're not going to get the benefits of free luggage and bonus miles and stuff because you don't use it enough. Whereas if you do, like, let's say, like your local Sam's Club has, I don't know, 5% back, you're going to make more money doing that since you don't travel than you would with the bonus things. But now for me, I travel all the time. Brigadier, no. You do not need to be giving me any lip. Sorry, that's the dog. For example, I fly Delta all the time. Like I have something like 20 flights already booked for the first half of the year. And so for me, I use my Delta American Express to book because then I get free stuff. You know, you have better status, all kinds of stuff. You used to be able to get into like lounges, which is not the case anymore. But that was helpful for me because it helped me get free upgrades and stuff. So that was good. So if you're going to get one, make sure it's an airline you're going to use a lot and it's by an airport that you're in, because there's no point in me getting the British Airways credit card because I live in the US. I'm only going to fly to England once every few years, so it's not worth it. So just be aware of that. If you prefer points, I know the Chase Sapphire is very popular with a lot of people. And you can do it that way so you can kind of move it around, but there's a lot of different things out there. Let's see. Had another big jump there. I'm sorry. If you put a question on over there, and I didn't get to it, feel free to put it up again. Just because I have mine is like a speed thing next to me, so it like jumps quite a bit. So that's why I apologize for that. Let's see. So Chris points out, I may be biased, but the hotel credit cards pays for our rooms and points on our trips. Yeah. And that's just it. If you're going to go, like, if you're in the U.S., like a Marriott card or a Hilton card can be very helpful because there's Marriotts and Hiltons all over the place. IHG cards, those can pay off. But if you're going to travel out in Europe, it doesn't help as much because there's not as many IHGs and Marriotts. Or when you're going to Europe, if I'm going to Paris, I've stayed in the Best Western. Best Westerns actually aren't bad in Europe. In the U.S., well, they're not bad at Europe. Okay, in Europe. So there is that. Kelly, when will you update Paris and London videos? So I just was in London and I was just in Paris. So there's new videos coming for both. However, I will say everything I said in those old videos, I still stand by. That's why I don't do this is the restaurant to go to. This is the hot new place, because those things change so fast it makes any video irrelevant. And since we travel so much, try to go to different places, I'm making more things so that if you find a video that's a few years old, it's still going to be helpful. So you can still watch the old ones, Kelly, but I do have Don'ts of the Tube in London, mistakes tourists make when they go to London, scams of London, tourist traps of London. What else did I film? Oh, how to piss off the locals in London. So I've got some new London ones. Same thing. I got the same things for Paris coming. Like we had one like mistakes people make in Paris. I put out late last year. We have the don'ts of Paris coming up. Let's see. There's one like how not to piss off people in Paris. So I've got those things up. So we got some already up, and there's more coming. So you have that. The perfect element. Any tips for a couple traveling to Hawaii for the first time? Any toiletries, sunblocks, any of those things, take it with you, because on the island, all the little things are stupid expensive. So you have stuff already with you, you're good to go. Book your car rental now, like right now. Like get off this, open up another tab, go up there, click the plus button to get another tab open, and book your car rental. And it's going to be expensive, but just so you can get one, that's going to be there. Yeah, but yeah, you have a good time. Have a good trip. Let's see. Esther, good to see you. Where'd it go? Esther, you had a question and disappeared. There it is. Would 1 or 2 weeks be enough to do Athens and Istanbul? Yes. My dad wants to go, but less time with him is better for my mental health. Oh shoot, that was funny. Okay, if you want me to be honest with you, you need 3 days max in Athens, because Athens, you've got the National Museum, you got the new Acropolis Museum, you got to go up to Acropolis around the Plaka. You got 2 or 3 days there, then 3 or 4 days in Istanbul. So a week, you go close to the week. You want to throw in some day trips, maybe 10 days. Okay, sorry, that was pretty funny. Say Midnight Snow, do you recommend portable Wi-Fi or a SIM card when traveling internationally? Going to Japan in the spring and not sure what to choose. So I've actually done both, the portable Wi-Fi or the SIM card. And the portable Wi-Fi one, it was like $10 a day. I could hook up like 6 devices. It worked fine, but it was still a pain in the butt because occasionally it turned off, and then I got charged anyway for my international plan. So I ended up stop using the Wi-Fi and just use my phone to have that. So I usually go that way just for the convenience, so I don't have another device I got to carry around. One thing I will tell you though, but if you're going to Japan, if you're like doing Airbnbs, hotels, sometimes they actually will have them there for you to use for free, and it's kind of like included in your rental or included in your hotel. So there is that. See, Brigadier's here. Can you tell he's just in love with me? Look at those brown eyes. Oh, so yes, Brig. I will go. We will go soon. Okay, we will go soon. Don't look at me like that. You know I love you. You're a good dog. He has a little bit of separation anxiety right now because Jocelyn's gone. So he's getting older. He's like my parents, getting older. It's like, I don't want y'all traveling. Why don't you just stay home with me? Right, Brig? Right, buddy? So anyway. Ooh. So Taylor, Iceland or New Zealand in November? I would do New Zealand, weather-wise, and there's more to explore. Iceland's cool. I mean, you can't go wrong. It's just the flight down to New Zealand, if you're coming from the U.S., it's dang far. It is really far. So if time is a thing, that could be something to kind of think about. Mary Ellen, my London trip in November was interesting. The underground had so many closed due to heavy rains, but I researched enough. It wasn't hard to pivot. Yeah. And that's one thing I got to tell you, people. You always have to have, know what your backup plan is. If this doesn't work, what else can we do? If I can't get to there, how's that? And 9 times out of 10, you don't have to worry about it. But then sometimes, you got heavy rains. Or when I was in England, they were having all kinds of strikes. So the trains were working. So I had a train ticket, but I had a backup bus ticket. And then I got to the train station to see, and they're like, oh, yeah, you are one of the 3 trains that are going today. I'm like, yes. I couldn't get my bus ticket money back, but hey, it's okay. I got to York, so I was happy. So yeah. Oh, my stuff just jumped again. So Jeffrey wants to know, going to Paris for the first time in October. Awesome. You have a great time. Does the metro have signs in English, especially the ticket kiosk? Yeah, you can. There's a language select. You can choose English. You'll be fine. and the signs "Sortie" is exit. You'll be able to tell. You'll be fine. Don't worry. Like and actually, Jeff, you bring up kind of a good thing is when you go countries where you don't speak the language, don't freak out. Like the signs are pretty easy to figure out. Hand signals work a little bit. Like people will figure these things out. Like they'll get it. Beer, huh? The check, please. Hand signals are fantastic, but no, you'll be fine, man. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. You just enjoy your time in Paris, which you will. So Judy wants to know who watches the dog when you travel. I want a dog, but I have no one to watch it. So we have a cousin of ours who babysits and house sits when we go on our long trips, and he takes Brig with him, or he stays here and watches him. Like, you miss Big Caleb, don't you? So, but Big Caleb taught Brig that getting up at 5 a.m. to go for a WALK is a good thing. So every time after Big Caleb has been here, the next month, I have to untrain Brig that no, you have to wait until 7, okay, to do that because you're keeping me awake way too long. So now don't look at me. Don't look at me like that. He's just staring at me like, don't you love me? Brig, give me 10 more minutes, Brig. Give me 10 minutes and we'll go. All right. So we have that. Let's see. Oh, hey, Stephen Rapp. Good to hear from you, my friend. Stephen's asked, hello from Quincy. He's from my hometown. Think of taking a trip, Germany in March or England or Hawaii. Hawaii will be the most expensive and probably the longest flight for you. England will be the shortest flight, easiest one to do. Germany, you'd see more stuff that you would think was probably more European looking. So I would probably rank it Germany, England, Hawaii, knowing that how much you've traveled before, Stephen. So, but for if you were a first-time traveler, I would go England, Germany, Hawaii. But since I know you, Stephen, I think you'll probably like Germany best. Later, Taylor, thanks for being on here. Thanks for all the super chats, my friend. Love it. So Ferdinand points out a good thing. Google Fi works great internationally for cell service. Yeah, if you can get that is helpful. I'm not going to lie about that one. But you want to have something. You always want to have something. Chris Bate points out Hong Kong Wi-Fi is everywhere. One thing I will say, this is an issue that I've had with my students when I've taken students abroad, and they think that, Wi-Fi is everywhere and I'll be able to get Wi-Fi no matter what. There'll be some cafe that'll have Wi-Fi and then they don't get a data plan for their phone. And then they go out at night. This happened. We were in Spain. So the students go out late night and they're trying to get an Uber home. But there's no cafes open, nothing's open. So they can't get a Wi-Fi signal. So they can't order their Uber or their Lyft. And so therefore I get a phone call from them saying, hey, we can't get data. Could you get us some? So I have to figure out an Uber for them where they are. Make sure you have something. Brent, hey, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Wondering what your opinion is if the Euro Pass is worth it compared to getting individual tickets and buses. Brent, if you're under 26, the Euro Pass can be helpful if you're going to be doing a lot of stuff all over Europe. But the time you lose, you might as well just fly, and the cheaper airlines are just cheaper to do. But if you want to do trains, these days we don't ever buy the Euro Passes anymore. We have done it for years. We actually just buy individual tickets and found that's actually the cheaper way to go for us. Hey, Tim from Kansas City. Good to see you. Ross, would you ever go to Sterling? I've been to Sterling. Actually, I've been there to Sterling multiple times. However, it was not when I was doing Walter's World, so I don't have any videos from it. But yeah, Sterling's actually pretty cool. Well worth visiting. Kate, there you go. Thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you for your fear of flying advice in the September chat. My boyfriend and I talked about it. Now we're going to Ireland in September and possibly Japan next year. Yay! That's awesome, Kate. Yeah, that's one of those things. I get scared of flying. Jocelyn is paralyzed in fear of flying sometimes. So, Kate, you all aren't alone, but it's good to have the talk about it and realize flying is safer. I mean, it's safer for me to go on a flight than it is for me to drive into town and get lunch for Liam here in a little bit. So that's one thing, that it's really nice. I'm glad I can help out. I'm so glad you're all going to Ireland and maybe Japan. That's awesome. I'm so happy to see that. Lori, good to see you. Oh, I jumped around again. Hey, Lori, thank you for being a member. Good to see you again. I know we haven't had these lives for a while, but I'm glad to see so many young faces. Yeah, we're kind of excited to go see some of the holy sites when we are there. It's actually on our 12 days of Christmas this year. The 4th day is related to that, so it'll be fun. Matt, how is Helsinki for kids? We're visiting family there later this year and have a 7 and 2-year-old. It's good. It's safe. It's clean. The cinnamon rolls the kids will love. Our kids actually love going there. There's a lot of outdoor stuff. If your family is there, they're probably going to have like a summer cottage where they can go swimming and jump in the lakes, the water and stuff. So yeah, you'll have a good time. I live there. I took my kids there. My kids like going back there. So yeah, if you watch our Finland videos, you'll see Caleb like out in the woods, like chopping wood and having fun. So Register man, are your boys as tall as you are now? No, not quite. They're 16 and 11. Caleb is, well, he's taller than John. Caleb's probably about 5'6" now. I mean, his mom's not very tall, so his genes aren't helping him that way. But he doesn't look like he's a shorty anymore, so he's happy about that. Well, actually, he was never upset about his height, which is funny because people make fun of him. He's like, I don't care. I am who I am. I think Liam's starting to grow because when I came back from England, I'm like, you look taller, dude. And so he's growing. I think he's like 4'8" now. So they still got a ways to go. I'm like right under 6 foot. So there is that. Yes, why are you tripping? Good point. You don't actually get a reserved seat with a Eurail. You need to pay extra. And that's important because some trains, seat reservations are required. So you're going to have to go up and get just a seat reservation. And the kiosks don't just sell seat reservations. So you're going to have to go get in line and talk to an actual person to get a seat reservation for that. So that could be kind of tough. Steven, thank you very much, my friend. Dang, thanks, man. That's a very nice super chat. Thank you. I've been all the places. Wife just wants to get away. I'm really stumped. March, odd time, I think, to travel. Any suggestions? In March, I might look at me. Well, weren't you just in Italy? Because you could do like Venice for a day and see like the mass and everything for the carnival time. Because that could be nice. Like you could get to one of the warmer countries in Europe, like a Spain, Portugal, because the weather's gonna be nice. Like Northern Europeans will be at the beaches then, but the locals will still be in winter clothes. But since you're from Quincy, you'll be like in a pair of jeans and a and a long sleeve shirt, t-shirt kind of thing. I would probably look at some of those as nice ones. If you're looking to go, if you're in the U.S., yeah, Savannah and Charleston, they're 2 hours apart. That's a nice little combo. Like if you can get the car rental to go from Charleston to Savannah, so you can fly into one and fly out the other, you could do that because that might be an easy one for you. Where else? I wouldn't recommend. I mean, the Caribbean stuff is fun at that time, but in March you got the spring breakers, which can make things really annoying. So I'd more focus on a European trip if you were going to do that. Like if you're if you're going for the England one, if you're talking about that for the Hawaii, England, Germany one, and you just want to relax, I would probably do the England one because the English are pretty chill. And so you can have a nice time. You go to the pubs and relax. You go to the shops, and there's historic stuff to see. Like Chester's a nice town. Going to Liverpool, I think you'd like that. So yeah, so there is that. So, and thank you, my friend. That is really nice of you. I really appreciate that super chat. So Ricky says 35 days between Austria and Italy, enough time to hike Alps, visit Rome, Florence, and Corsica. Yes, that you'll be fine with that time frame. You'll be able to actually get quite a bit more in there. Yeah, you'll be fine. You can hit all the main cities and get some other stuff on the side like the hikes as well. So you'll be good to go. Judy, I've never gone with Road Scholar. I do not know them. I know nothing about them, so I couldn't tell you anything. I'm sorry. Ooh, Kiki, going to Key West next month. Where's the best lobster roll? The one we went to, it's actually funny because they'll have a big picture of Guy Fieri, like right at the entrance. And it's an outdoor place. If you have watched my Key West videos, is where the chickens were attacking us sometimes. Right on the main drag on the airport side. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. It was on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. If you search it up there, believe me, they put it on there like 900 times. We were on this, and they put them up there. That's the one we went to and got stuff there. But you also get conch there as well. Conch's really good too. Fried conch, very nice. Oh, Steven, you were only in Germany? Then do Italy. Do Italy. Take her to Italy. Eat good food. See great stuff. Relax. Drink wine. You'll be fine. Let's see. My fly. So Dave Wheeler asks, this is one. We are flying into BMI, that's Bloomington Normal, not International Airport. I think it's Regional Airport. CIRA, Central Illinois Regional Airport. At 8:30 at night, will the car windows be open? Yes, I fly into that airport, get in at 10:30 at night. They're there. If there's reservations, yeah, they'll be there. Yeah, they've always been open. I've come in later than that, so you should be okay. And what people need to realize is the airports have their own times they're open, and the car rental places have different times, and the airline offices have different times. So sometimes it can be a little bit confusing. So thanks for bringing that up, Dave. Hey, Daniel, good to see you. Oh, Mariella, oh, nice. Ireland in March, always a good time. Okay, Andrew Bender, this is a good one. Do you have any tips for when your flight lands super early in the morning before you can check into your hotel? We actually will book the hotel the night before, just so we can get in and use it to shower, get cleaned up, and go and enjoy the city. I know that adds in on price, and when we have a group of like my parents and us, so we usually have 2 or 3 rooms because the kids are bigger now. We'll just get one of the rooms for the night before, so we can just put our luggage there. Kind of everyone gets to freshen up, and then we just go out for the day. Another thing, and this is why hotels are good, is you can just go to the hotel, drop off your luggage, and sometimes you're early enough, they're like, oh, you can go ahead and have the breakfast too. It's no problem. Like I've had that all over the world. I mean, not every time, but enough times. And I'm like, hey, if we get there early enough, we might still get the breakfast. But they'll hold your bags for you, no problem. So you can do that. And then you can go explore a little bit or just sit around in the lobby for a little bit. That's the problem is if you do Airbnbs. Sorry, the dog is. If you do Airbnbs and you get in early in the morning, you're screwed. You know, that's one thing that kind of sucks. That's why with those ones, you do got to book it a day early and pay it. So that is what I have to say. NK, which bag do you recommend as a one luggage? We use Osprey, pretty much exclusively Osprey. No problem, Ricky. Glad to help out. Sergio, why do you speak Spanish fluently? Porque México está en el sur. Yo puedo pasar por allá sin problemas. Tengo amigos allá y tengo amigos de Argentina. Pasé un semestre en Argentina y más tiempo en otras partes del mundo que se habla español. So that's some of the reasons why. Sorry, my accent's a little brutal. I don't get to speak a lot of Spanish these days, but it's nice when I get the chance to do it again. So thanks. Calvin, good morning, Mark. I'd like to hit up Newfoundland, Canada this summer. Have you ever been there? I have not been to Newfoundland, but I will tell you, the people of Newfoundland, there's 2 countries where I've gotten the nose like, why haven't you come here? 1 is Serbia, and 2 is Newfoundland. And they're like, you got to come, you got to come, you got to come. There's actually, what's her? I think her name's Katie. She's a blogger that really focuses just on Newfoundland, and she's got all kinds of stuff on there. She's like, Walter's World, you have to come. Walter's World, you have to come. So I have not been, Calvin, so I can't give you any personal stuff. I do know when I've gone to Prince Albert Island and going to the eastern provinces and Atlantic provinces, it's gorgeous out there. They're long drives. It's a long drive to get anywhere, but it's beautiful. So there is that. Let's see. Ooh, Cat works a wonder. I have a 41-minute layover in Salt Lake City from domestic to international gate, all booked through Delta. Not familiar with the airport. Will I make it? Decrepit knees and can't run. That's good. It's going to be tight. What's cool is you're going domestic to an international. So the international one will be, you shouldn't have to go through security again. So you'll be on the correct side of security because when you're flying out, it's going to be like more of a normal flight. I haven't flown through Salt Lake City before. I'm doing my first flight through Salt Lake City in March. So like I can tell you more if you ask me in the middle of March, I can tell you more. No, middle of April. Sorry. It's April. I'm flying through there. But I know my mom goes there to Salt Lake City twice a year and she likes the airport there. So if she likes the airport there, it must be pretty easy to get around. So I'm sorry I don't have like an exact thing for you, Kate, but I hope that can help a little bit. See, welcome to Serbia. What did I say? Thanks, Vlad. I will be getting there. Don't you worry. Hey, Mr. Bannon. Well, rings from Poland for me and my Japanese wife. Oh, awesome. Good to see you all. CK, I and I, my friend. I and I. All right. Well, it's been good being on here. My battery's about to die on here, and I don't know where the plug is. Says Liam was playing with my device here. So I wish everyone a fantastic day. Thanks for hopping on. It's nice to do it live again. let's see what the status is on Jocelyn's. Will she or won't she? Looks like 53% say she will get her luggage today, and 47% say no. So about a 50-50 mix. I was in camp no, to be honest with you on that one. But thanks for everyone that voted. Thank you everybody that came on. Thank you everybody for the super chats. That was super nice of you all. My dog is sitting here like looking at me like I'm a horrible person. Break. I haven't. What's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that? I didn't do anything. It's fine. All right. Well, I want to go take break for a WALK. He can't spell yet. He doesn't know the W word, but he's giving me that look. So I know I got to get going. So I just want to say thank you everybody for being on here. Thanks for letting me be a part of your Sunday. Hey, thank you for letting us be a part of your travels. It's really a wonderful thing, especially when I get emails and notes and comments like this saying how we helped you out. It means the world to me. I got to tell you, we got obviously every Saturday and Wednesday we keep out videos. The highlights, we're going to be putting out 2 or 3 like short videos on our shorts channel that I talked about before. If you go down to the information, you can go subscribe on there. And we're going to have 2 or 3 videos coming out for there, like 30-second, minute-long videos over the next few months, just to see how it goes. See if people like it when we chop these things up, and you can see some of our old highlights. So should be fun. But I want to say thank you to everybody, and you all have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and happy travels wherever you're going to be. Bye.